Let's move on to Rajasthan quickly. Rajasthan, let's have a look at the seats. 25 seats there. BJP 21 out of 25. A gain of 17 since the last elections. And in terms of the Congress, 3 down 17. Let's just go straight to the trend after this. And all the votes and more details are available on our website, ndtv.com. So let's have a look at the trend in Rajasthan. Remember, the Congress did very well in the last Lok Sabha election, 20 out of 25. That seems a long time ago. In our poll in February, it was almost reversed, 19 to 5. Then in March, 21 to 3, and now the latest, it's 21 to 3. So, Ram, if I can ask you about, these are basically the BJP strongholds now. Rajasthan, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Bihar to some extent. They're making inroads into Orissa, and we'll have a look and see what happens.
BJP was never a force in Haryana.
Never was a force. It's becoming a force in Haryana, and not fully yet broken through in Punjab. But since most of its votes are concentrated in these areas, it's getting a lot more seats. It tends to get about 7 seats per percentage vote, while the Congress gets about 5 seats per percentage vote. That makes a big difference when you're talking about 30, 40% or 20, 30%. So is this?
Yes, I think it's pretty clear that they're going to form the government. It's a complete reversal of 2009, and we can understand why it happened. The Congress really lost the plot. The UPA lost the plot, and this is overdue so far as Congress is concerned. But I think where the real news is that some of us were expecting the non-Congress, non-BJP parties to get a greater share of what was vacated by the Congress. That's not happened, and I think it's the effect of the national campaign by the BJP, and surely the Modi factor has added some momentum to that. That's, I think, pretty clear. It was clear from your last poll, and this seems to be seems to be getting even stronger. If that's the question I heard, I couldn't quite hear all the things you said, Pranoy, but that's the sense of what I get.
Ram, one of the other things which we are not showing today, but we will show later, but as far as we've seen in the current poll, we don't have time to show it, is the Muslim vote is not going to the BJP, and it's split amongst other parties. It hasn't, everybody talks about the tactical vote by the Muslims and they will vote for one side altogether. No, it's been split pretty equally amongst the other parties. So the BJP is gaining from that quite considerably.
Yes, that's an interesting finding of your poll. If Muslims don't see Congress as really putting up a fight other than a fight to be an effective opposition, then I think that it makes sense that that would happen, because it's very, very hard to do a tactical voting across the land, across many states. I think a highly conscious constituency may do that in a particular part of a state or in a state, but it's too much to expect them to do it across India, especially when the Congress's star is really, Congress isn't its stock is virtually junk stock so far as people are concerned. They do not expect anything from the Congress other than the voice of an opposition, and Muslims, I think, see that as well. So it's not surprising, but it's a very interesting finding of this opinion poll.
But Shekhar, would you expect as the voting day comes, there will be strategic and tactical, they will all shift, but it's too early right now?
Well, there may be some, but if you look at UP, Western UP is already done.
It's overdone, right? Everybody
knows.
Plus,
it's done. I mean, people have, time for shifts is over. The votes are in the machines.
10 out of the 80.
Yes. The problem is, for the Congress party, that they are not countering the momentum. They seem to be going with the momentum. So while, say, Punjab, I'll caution you on Punjab, it's very early days in Punjab. Punjab voting is on the 30th.
Yep.
Campaign is not yet begun. Now Mr. Modi will go there. And what will Congress party offer in return? Congress party has made a good move by putting Amrinder Singh up against Arun Jaitley. At least they've shown that they want to fight in Punjab. But having said that, if you make it a one-horse race, and if you say, I don't care whether I win or lose, I think statements from Congress party's top leadership that we don't care if we win or lose, how would you like to be playing in a team whose captain says, I don't care if I win or lose? It's almost an admission of defeat before the game starts. May the best team win.
They seem to have just sort of given up so far, and there's still 4 weeks to go. But
Well, and if you look at vote percentages, they still have a very strong core vote. So if they had really worked on it, if they had really fought it out, maybe there was a chance for them to make it much narrower. Even if they sat in the opposition, they would have then formed a much stronger opposition. And in forthcoming state elections, they would have sounded like, they would have looked like more credible allies for other parties.